we're back. It's a Maelstrom game again, and it's tactical escalation again. So, turn 1, 1 objective, turn 2, 2 objectives, and so on. And we're on an ice world this time. The time has taken its toll on all the structures here, and the buildings degraded, but still there seems to be some artifact in the snow that is attracting this ancient Eldar race. So we're going to show you where the objectives are. So we've got one outside of the mausoleum here, another one in the woods there, and there's two inside this building on the top floor. So there's one, and there's the other, and then just in the rubble there's one, and over here next to the glorious golden Space Marine is one that he's keeping. And I think that's all. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that's all of the objectives. And the Ynnari have rolled to go first, so they will deploy first. And with the army list that the Night Lords are playing, they can choose it to be night, so it's going to be night. Alright, we've got 2,000 points of Ynnari, the brand new Eldar combined force between the codexes. So I was putting the Dark Eldar up, was planning on just having a Dark Eldar army, but a lot of stuff came along that had to be painted, so they got put in the back burner. So I've finally got an excuse to use the ones that we've painted up. So here they are, and we're having the Harlequins feature in the army as well. So this is the Reborn Warhost detachment from the book. So it's going to give us all the benefits that you can get for this army. So 2 units will be able to soul burst with 1 unit being destroyed, if you know what I mean. It's going to be very complex. We're just going to have to wing it as we go, because it's the first time playing this army, so we're going to see how all this pans out. So the Warlord is this Archon here, and he has a Haywire Grenade, he's got Soul Trap, he's got a Husk Blade, he's got a Blast Pistol, and he's got the Armour of Misery, and he's also got a Shadow Field, so he's suited and booted and ready to go. He's with the Incubi, there's a Clavex in there, and they're going to have a dedicated Venom, and the Venom's got a Splinter Cannon underneath. Here, another Venom, exactly the same. This one's for the Witches, just a 5 person unit. An Agonizer with the Witch, and Hydra Gauntlets for one of them. A unit of Cavalite Warriors, Blast Gun, Blaster in there, and a Dark Lance, and they have a dedicated Raider, and that is got the Night Shield, it's got Splinter Axe and a Dark Lance on the front. And then we've got a Ravager that's got the Disintegrator Cannons all around, again with a Night Shield, so these should be pretty good at surviving when they jink. Then we've got a group of Scourgers, 2 Haywire Cannons in there, and a Solarite Leader to lead them. And then we've got 2 Flyers, these are Razor Wings, again with Night Shields. Just the ordinary missiles that come with the model, and they've both got Night Shields. And we've got a formation here to get the more fast attacks in. This is a Falchius Blade detachment. It just means all of the Harlequin skimmers can re-roll their Jinx saves, so I find that very useful. And these have got the Shuriken Cannons underneath and the Zephyr Blades, so really like the Harlequin jet bikes. And the Voidweaver has the Prismatic Cannon on it as well. And we've got a Solitaire, and he's got Haywire Grenade, and he's got Sigorax Rose. And of course, the man, or the entity, it's not a man or a woman, it is the Incarn. And I rolled on the Santic powers, because obviously there wasn't any cards for this, so I'm going to have to go off a lot of memory, so I've just tried to have cards to remind us on the psychic powers. So I haven't went for the Ynnari ones this time. We're just going to try and get the core rules under our belt before we tackle the psychic powers. So nothing interesting really on the psychic powers that it's rolled for, but they might come into play. The Warlord trait for the Archon is him and his unit can soul burst when within double range, so it's 14 inches instead of 7, so that might come in handy.
So we've got 2,000 points of Night Lords here. We have a Combined Arms Detachment on the left here. It's led by Sorcerer. He's level 2, and he has a spell familiar. There's 2 squads there, 5, each got a plasma gun. 1 champion has a power weapon. 3 obliterators. And they're riding rhinos, the troops there, with havoc launchers. And then we have the Lord of the Legion at the back there. He's the warlord. He has rampage. And we have the Raptor Talon, led by the Lord with Power Fist and Lightning Claws. And we have 2 units of 6 with Lightning Claws and Flamer. Another unit of 6 with Power Fist, Lightning Claws, 2 Melters. Then we have the Helldrake pack. There's 2 of those. That's important.
Right, so there's a few extra bits of war gear on the Night Lords as well. The Raptor champion, he's got the Vox Dominatus. If you're within 6, you're -1 to your leadership, and if he's on the table, you're -1 to your opponent's reserve roll, so he's pretty handy. And this Demon Prince, he's back again with the Furies, Mastery level 3. He's got a spell familiar, and he's Demon of Tzeentch with the Stormbolt plate. So once again, he's going to have that 2+ armor save with rerolling 1s because he's Tzeentch, and he's going to have effectively Shrouded because he's a Night Lord with the Stormbolt plate. It's going to give him +2 to his cover save. So with the wings, he can just jink around and save on a cover save of 2 with a reroll of 1 because he's a Tzeentch demon. So he's pretty much indestructible. You have to get him in combat if you're looking to kill him. So him being the warlord is pretty good for him. He's going to be very survivable. The Ynnari arrive at the location for reasons only known to them. It's not for the ken of mortal men. And so the Venoms arrive first on this far left here. So the Warlord is in this Venom. This has got the Witches in. So they're all crowding around this objective here. There's a Solitaire just down there. There's the gunship here with all the disintegrators on. The Harlequin contingent is in the centre. And then finally we've got this Raider with the Cabalite Warriors on board with the Dartlands. So this has got some decent firepower on the right hand side. In reserve, we've got the 2 Flyers, so they'll be called for when the game heats up a little bit. We've got Scourges in Deep Strike Reserve, and the Incarn will turn up when either something dies and it'll just turn up, or just from Deep Strike Reserve. But it's more likely something will die than it'll turn up, so that'll be exciting when that happens. And the Night Lords, they've sent forward 2 scouting parties, so 2 Rhinos. 2 Rhinos for the Night Lords. The one on the left here, this has got the Sorcerer in. He was using his psychic capabilities to try and locate this Eldar force in the snow, or the Ynnari. They're not just the Eldar anymore. And this has got a unit in just 5 tactical, so everything else is in reserve for the Night Lords. For the Night Lords, the Raptors this time are in Deep Strike Reserve, so people will get to see that in effect. Obliterators in Deep Strike Reserve, and the Demon Prince in Deep Strike Reserve. So they're playing the long game, are the Night Lords. It's a good thing to do in a game of tactical escalation, because it does matter near towards the end of the game. You just got to take your time in this one. And of course the Helldrake Terror Pack, they are in reserve as well, so a lot to come on for the Night Lords. They're just going to have to weather a few nasty turns with these 2 vehicles. The Night Lords choose not to try and steal the initiative, so the Eldar, the Ynnari, go first without question. So the objective that has come through for them is psychological warfare, so it's going to be difficult to try and achieve with those Marines in the Rhinos, but the Ynnari go forth all the same. So all the Venoms come around the side here, the Solitaire, just trying to group together a little bit more than we normally would, see if we can get this Soul Burst working. So we've got quite a lot of shots coming through on that Rhino. It is night, but Dark Eldar have night vision, so we're going to see if that just cuts through the dark. The Harlequins moving up in the centre, and this raider just moves 6. So we're going to fire 1 bright lance at the side of that rhino, unimpeded from the hard cover. Ynnari, you're going to open up shooting phase, so this raider with the dart lance on the front is going to fire at this rhino, so we're going to need 3 to hit. So that's a hit. Dart lance is strength 8. That is a pen, so it is night. We've got night vision, that's just going to cut through, so no save at all since we've moved around the wall there. Clear line of sight. 4 goes to 5, so that's a weapon blown off. Now that is a good result because this Havoc launcher is pretty nasty, so if we can take that out, so 1, 2, 3 to Stormbolter, 4, 5, 6 the Havoc launcher. It's the Stormbolter, right, so that weapon is still at large. So that first shot caused a little bit of damage. They've passed the snapping test inside on Leadership 10. And now we're going to fire a snapping dart lance from the passengers on board, see if we can cause more damage. Nope, that's missed, but we've got a lot more shots coming around here. We shall fire the Void Weaver, so that is going to fire the prismatic cannon. We're going to fire the lance shot at strength 7 at the rhino. That is a hit, strength 7, lance rule. So that will glance just the basic rhino, but it's going to have a healthy cover save. The Harlequins do not have night vision like the Dark Eldar, so it's going to get a save of 3 behind the hard cover, so yep. That is a save on a 3. Right, we're going to do the shooting catapult underneath, shooting cannon even, that's what it's called. So 3 hits, 6s to pen, there's 1 pen, there's going to be another save on a 3 for those Night Lords. No, that goes through. Alright, so what's the damage on this pen? It's a 1, goes to 2, so that will be snap firing, so that's a pretty good result, silencing that Havoc launcher for the next turn. On its last remaining hull point now, so we're going to fire these 2 Harlequin jet bikes, the Sky Weavers, on the other side of that wall. We're going to fire through the wall at this rhino. So on its last hull point, so we're hitting on 3s. Oh my god. Full hits, needing 6s to pen. There's 1 pen and 2 glances. Right, so those Harlequins are right up against the window. There's going to be no cover save because that piece of rubble is just too low. It's not 25%. So the first one will be the penetrating hit on a 6 because it's night. No. So it's a wrecked rhino. And 1 glance is saved, but 1 pen will do. It's been wrecked anyway, but we're going to see what the damage is. 3, still the same as before, but there is first blood for the rhino being taken out, and I'm going to have to check the rules for the Incarn here, see if that turns up with the unit being destroyed. Alright, so the rhino blows up because that's a unit. The Incarn does appear, so he's here early as he can be. He's well up for this game, and 2 things happen at the same time. You must immediately disembark from your rhino, and the Incarn must immediately turn up when something's destroyed. So because it was the Eldar's player's turn, we've decided to put the Incarn out and blocked the re-entry, so the Night Lords have had to go on this side or this side when they disembark. So they've chosen the area with the cover, so that's why they are exposed, because the Incarn sort of outsmarted them a bit there. It's a bit ruthless, but that's what the Ynnari are, ruthless to these heretics. It's going to be murderous. So we've got a lot more to fire. I'm just surprised he's early in the game. So we're going to run the Solitaire, and then we're going to fire all of these vehicles. So there's 2 Venoms with the splinter cannons each, and then there's this Ravager with the triple disintegrator cannons coming in on these Night Lords. It's going to be really painful. But before we do that, we're going to have to see if these take a pinning test for getting out the rhino. If they fail, that's going to be psychological warfare. Nope, they're good. Good to go for now. Now it's time to open up with a horrendous amount of firepower. This Venom, this is the first one to open fire. With 12 shots, gets 6 wounds on these Night Lords. So they're not going to ground, so they're just going to take that 3+ save that they've got. And it is such a horrendous roll that they're all dead. That is so savage. These Night Lords have fallen on such a hard time in these last couple of games here. It's hard to watch. Okay, the Night Lords in such a desperate situation here. The Incarn has ran 5 inches, so approaching the remaining Rhino. They're going to have to pray that they hold on for another turn here. And some of the other vehicles go flat out, so we're just trying to close the net just a little bit. We're not getting too hasty. These Harlequin jet bikes come around here, this Venom here, and we're leaving the Raider where it is. So the ball is in the Night Lord's court now. They've got 1 remaining Rhino with a 5-man unit inside with a plasma gun and a sorcerer. So they have to work hard here to survive this next round. It's just occurred to us that this unit was destroyed within 7 inches of the Incarn, so we can use a soul burst. So you did run 5, but we're going to soul burst with a move as well. So we've moved 6 and then ran 5 to get to this Rhino. So just trying to remember all the rules here. And if you're thinking why didn't he charge, it's because he did deep strike in this turn, so he cannot charge because he still the restrictions for certain things like charges do still apply. So at least something applies to these Eldar, because everything else just goes out the window. Night Lord's turn 1, so the Rhino it was here, but it's sped away, popped smoke. So it will yeah, it'll pop smoke in the shooting phase, but first the Sorcerer is going to try and do Psychic Shriek at the Incarn. It's all the Night Lords can do this turn. They're just trying to get away from all of that nasty firepower until the reserves turn up. So the Warp Charge is 2, and we're going to see if they can pull it off. He's going to be able to deny the Witch on a 4 because he's a higher mastery level, and of course he's a Psyker himself, so it's going to be a very difficult episode to do. So he has got it off on 2. It says 2 in the Warp Charge. He's mastery level 3, so he's going to deny the Witch on a 4 here. Need 2 4s to make that happen. No, he's failed every single one, so Psychic Shriek will go off. 3 dice. Oh, that's good. That's really good. 6 wounds on the Incarn. That's pretty astonishing. 6 wounds on the Incarn. He does get his invulnerable save of 5, however, and that's just a stunning roll. It's just impossible to kill this guy, it seems. And he gets feel no pain as well, so he's taken a single wound, but that was a really, really good effort from the Night Lords there. The Sorcerer not taking any shit. Okay, so the Night Lords, that's all they can do this turn. It was a good effort from the Psyker, but all they can do is pop smoke on the Rhino. They're going to have to try and survive for the next turn, try and get the reserves on. But they're facing down again another turn of horrendous firepower. But that's the right thing to do, pop smoke, because the planes might come on with the Dark Lancers. Do not want to see this Rhino go down. Turn 2 for the Ynnari, and only 1 flyer turns up, and the Scourges stay in reserve also. So that's pretty good. We need to wait for these Helldrakes to come on and then attack them in the air. So we've just got 1 flyer on. He's lined up his flight pattern straight at the Rhino. This Raider has done the same as well. We've already done a Psychic phase as well. We've tried to do Sanctuary for the Incarn, but failed because it was denied. So this Sorcerer is doing really well, and so we will not have that +1 to our invulnerable save, just still as we were with our wound. So the Harlequins are moving into the centre of the board as well. We're going to try and support the Incarn, and then the Dark Eldar fast movers on this side. They're just choking up the area. We can't really do much until we know what's going on with these Helldrakes and Deep Strikers. So it will kick off probably in the next turn for the Night Lords. It's really touch and go for them this first 2 turns. They took a risk. It seems like it might pay off here. So first of all, we're going to fire with the Razor Wing first. So we've got 2 Dart Lancers into this Rhino. Oh, so hit once, hit twice, and the damage is 8. So that's a pen. That's a glance. So the saving on 5s with that smoke. Right, so 5+ cover for the pen. That goes through, so the damage is, I'll roll this. That's a 2, so it's going to be snap firing. Well, I'd have to do a check on the people on board as well, and the glance needs to save on a 5. That one goes through as well. Not a good day for saving for the Night Lords. I've got another 2 Dart Lancers from the Raider underneath. I'm going to have to check the range. It might be out of range, in fact, they're only 36 inches. I think you might be safe from it. Right, it was very close. It didn't move that Raider, but we are just in range. We're just clipping the edge of this Rhino. So 2 shots from the Dart Lance. 1 hit. No good. So it will survive thus far. We're going to fire the Ravager next. It's got 1 disintegrator cannon in range, so this is strength 5, so it could hurt. So 2 hits. No. So that is all the shooting we're going to do at this Rhino. We've flat out everything else because we're trying to anticipate these Heldrakes. So the Harlequins, they turbo boost all the way to the table edge here. We're going to try and make it hard for these Deep Strikers coming in. And the Venoms, they go right on the board edge as well. And the Solitaire runs a little bit. So we've got a few vehicles out in the wind where they could be hurt from deep strikes, but that's just what we're going to have to do. And last thing to do is this Incarn, he's going to try a charge on this Rhino. Right, the Night Lord just snap fire the weapons out of the hatch. No hits, so the Incarn is going to need a 9-inch charge on this Rhino. That's a 5 and a 2. He's got fleet, or it has got fleet. So that is going to make it on a 9, just. Okay, so the Rhino goes down very, very easily, and it causes a soul burst action. So we can't assault or we can't fire at this unit who gets out the Rhino because they can't be seen by the jet bikes, and we can't charge either because they did go flat out. But the Incarn can. Again, you can soul burst yourself just 1 time only. So that's what he's going to do. So it's absolutely savage stuff. You feel bad doing it. So it's a 5-inch charge. It would be extended by 2 going through the cover, but he's got moved through cover because he's a monstrous creature, so he's going to need a 5-inch charge on these Night Lords. It's a fail, but he's got fleet, so he just makes it in on a 5-inch charge. Right, the Incarn goes into the combat. We're saying these can overwatch. They did overwatch from the hatch, but it does say the enemy can overwatch if you look at the rules of the soul burst, so we've allowed it because it's incredibly unfair with the Eldar anyway, with the Ynnari. So a wound caused by the plasma gun did get his crucial shot off and failed all the saves, even the feel no pain. So they've got the revenge in some shape or form, and they will go first because the Incarn does not have assault grenades, so these are going to assault first. These Marines have had to take a fear test against the Incarn because they aren't fearless with the Sorcerer, and they roll an 11, so they are scared. So even going first, they're going to be hitting on 5s against this horrible creature. Alright, so initiative step 10, the Ynnari Avatar. Hammer of Wraths, the Night Lord's champion in the challenge and kills them straight away. These Night Lord saves have been woeful every time. And the attack back, they try and plant grenades and use regular attacks, but with them succumbing to fear, it's just so hard. Hitting on 5s, moving on 6s, not a sausage. So the Incarn fights back with 7 attacks on the charge. And this is going to be ugly. Wounding on 2s. Alright, 4 dead. So it's probably going to be everyone but the Sorcerer. So all of the Sorcerer's bodyguard has been destroyed, and if that wasn't bad enough, he's been set on fire as well with Soul Blaze, and he's going to have to take a leadership test with a -5 now. Alright, so he's going to have to do a leadership test on a 5. And he passes, so he's holding on, but he is Soul Blaze. Right, that's the end of the Ynnari turn, and the Night Lords say thanks to the gods for the end of that turn. So they've got the Sorcerer left. We're going to have to see if the Soul Blaze catches his robe on fire. It does on a 4, so it's going to be D3, just a 1, strength 4. So that is a wound on him, so you need to save on a 3. So that's a 4, so he's saved. So this poor Sorcerer, he's been through hell and now his robe's on fire. So points for the Ynnari. Almost got D3 for no prisoners, but we end up with just 1 point. Couldn't finish off that third unit. The Sorcerer did hold on, what a hero. And behind enemy lines, we've definitely got this with D3 victory points. We've got this squad, this squad, this squad, this squad, this squad. It's just too easy at the moment, but that's only because there's 2 units of Night Lords on the table. That will change, so we're going to see how many points we get in this turn. 3, that's not what the Night Lords wanted to see. It's Night Lord's turn 2 now, and the situation has changed, and it's changed quite a lot. All the reserves turn up, so we've got the double Helldrake attack. They're going to do some vector striking on their chosen targets, and pretty much all of the Raptors and everyone else deep strikes right on target, so these land right there. So all the Raptors can charge from deep strike, that's their special rule, and the Warlord's Raptors unit lands right here with a double melter. They're probably going to take care of this Ravager. The Obliterators land right here, just about on target. They're going to tackle the Solitaire, and the Demon Prince lands over there, roughly on target. So out of all the units that deep struck, only one mishapped and was misplaced, so put them right in the corner of the board, out of the way. Just let them do the long walk back to the battlefield. So the situation has certainly changed for the Night Lords now. They're suddenly on the attack. The Eldar are looking very, very fragile here. So first things first, this Helldrake vector strikes this Venom, so strength 7 and ignores cover, so that's a penetrating hit. We do have an invulnerable 5 save on Venoms, and we don't get it, so what's the damage? 5, oh dear, it's open topped, and it's AP2, so it's going to explode, so there's 5 on board. And so that blows up, kills 2 witches inside. The Hydra Gauntlets are gone, but we survive with the Hecatrix and pass-hole pinning and snapping tests. So with the FAQ for the Ynnari, you can't do a soul burst from your transport exploding. So they are stuck now. Alright, this Helldrake's going to try and perform the same feat on this one. So what's the damage? Strength 7? No. Only gets up to strength 9 there. Do get away with that one. In the Psychic Phase of the Night Lords, the Demon Prince, he cast Tzeentch's Firestorm on this Raider. Raider, it did jink, but only ended up with strength 2. So we've jinked for nothing there, and now he's doing Baleful Devolution at the Flyer. It successfully comes off. We've been forced to jink because it's strength 6, AP2, Assault D3. We cannot afford to have our Flyers go down when there's Helldrakes around. So how many shots is this going to turn out to be? So it's Assault D6. Yeah. So it's going to be how many shots? 2 shots, so it's not too bad. Hitting on 2s because he's Ballistic Skill 5 because he is in the air. So there's 2 hits, 4s to glance. Of course there's 2 pens, so we did jink and we've got Night Shield, so we're saving on 3s. Alright, we both save, so forced to jink there, it's not what we wanted to see. Right, this hero sorcerer on his last act before he probably gets dispatched casts Terrify onto these jet bikes. They do pass the leadership for their leadership test, so they would have perhaps fell back, but they've now got a -1 to their leadership. So we're onto the shooting phase now, so what will be the first to open fire?
Okay, so this
Helldrake. Right, we're going to do our Mirage launchers and get an invulnerable 4 save. Declare that now. So off you go. So there's 2, strength 6. That's a cough die. Right, just 1 wound. We do get an invulnerable 4 save on that. No, and we do get feel no pain because we're within 12 of the Incarn. And with save, so no damage from the Helljet, that's a surprise. And this one, same thing again, Mirage launchers I'm going to use. That's 2 hits. We don't have the benefit from Feel No Pain this time, so we need to save on our 4s. And we do, right, Mirage launchers, working. Okay, this looks like it's going to be terminal. We've got 4 obliterators firing assault cannons into the solitaire. This is not looking good, so they're hitting on 3s. The majority hits, needing 2s to wound. Oh. Wow, 3 1s in there. Right, 7 in total. Gonna have to save on invulnerable 3s for the solitaire. I think this is the last time we're gonna see him. He's failed 2 of them, but he will survive on his last wound. Right, this Raptor squad's up next. There's 2 melters into the back of the Ravager. So we are drinking, of course. So 2 hits, and these are destined to go through, so 1 at a time. So that one pens, and the next one pens, easy peasy. Okay, so we have got night shields on this, so we have to save these on 3s, and we absorb them. It's good stuff, but still, bolt pistols in there can hurt, and I'm sure they'll throw a grenade as well. Alright, so they fire the pistols next, and the Lord throws a grenade. 2 glances, but we do save on the 3, so that survives for now, because they can charge from deep striking. So it's pretty much the final thing that's going to do in this turn, I think. I've got these Raptors next. They're going to fire at the Void Weaver. We'll use our Mirage launchers, so the Flamer doesn't wound. And then we've got pistols.
Plasma pistol.
Or plasma pistol even. Oh, that's a cocked eye. Hits, that's a 4. So 3 to glance. And that is a glance, so we save on 4s because our Mirage launches. No, that goes through, so that is a glance. And then there are a couple of pistols. Right, then the Lord throws a grenade and only rolls a 3, so it doesn't connect. So the pistols, they can't find the mark either. So that plasma pistol, the only thing that it's done a little bit of damage, it's on the last hull point. Do they have any more shooting from anywhere? I think that's it. So it's on to assault for the Night Lords. Right, so the Raptors go in on the Void Weaver. That's destined to die. It's on its last hull point. There's a lot of attacks coming through. And same here. This is not gonna last. There's a Warlord with a Power Fist. Ugly stuff. The Power Fists in this combat see this explode 3 inches. 1 Raptor dies in the explosion, and there's a wound on the Solitaire. He's going to have to save, or else he's dead on a 3. Plus he needs to save. Oh, he's dead. He was on his last wound. He can't soul burst. He's gone. And it rings, it pours. So we've lost the Raider and the Solitaire, and this is surely going to die now. Right, I put up a good fight. The Void Weaver gets a lot of invulnerable saves, but finally goes down. So that is destroyed. But we do get a soul burst from these Harlequin jet bikes. They are within 7 even, and they use the Halo launchers, so they weren't drinking. So to do soul burst, you would think it would be a better thing to do to charge with that soul burst. But with the new FAQ, you would. Because it happened at Initiative Step 4 when they took it out, these wouldn't be able to fight because they're at Initiative Step 5. So things are a little bit different with that FAQ, it seems. So we're going to shoot them instead, which is always good. So hitting on 3s with the shuriken cannons, it's pretty good. And needing 2s to wound. Right, there's 4 wounds on those Raptors. And they're going to have to save on 3s. Right, 1 goes down, and it is the Flamer, he's the nearest. Right, the last thing to do is this combat here. So the Incarn is going to fight this Sorcerer. So he hits 4 times, with 2s. Oh, that is terrible. Only 2 wounds on the Sorcerer, but that is enough. He's got no invulnerable save. He's been cleaved in twain. So the Incarn kills the Sorcerer and moves on 6 inches with a Consolidation. I forgot that we were going to... I was thinking if that goes down, we would teleport the Incarn here when something died, but I forgot about it. That's a mental note to myself to play the Ynnari, because he can just pretty much bounce around the board wherever things die, so Mental note, do that next time. So we're on to Ynnari turn now, or Ynnari, after that brutal turn. Night Lords looking good at the moment. Right, and in that turn for the Night Lords, they did achieve 2 victory points. They got no prisoners and killed 3 units, 1, 2 and a solitaire for 3. Rolled d3, got a 2, so 2 points for the Night Lords, not too shabby. Ynnari, turn 3. So we've moved in back into the centre with the Harlequins. Trying to think ahead a little bit with the soul burst actions with this, but not too far ahead because we just can't predict it because it's the first time using it. So the avatar actually gets to move a little bit further because I forgot he gets to soul burst, so it would move through cover as soon as that sorcerer dies. Then he gets his consolidation and then he gets to move again. So he's just there, a little bit further forward than he would have been otherwise. And we could try and do some soul bursting in the centre here, something will happen. The witches, they're going to try and get into this combat or leech off a soul burst. And this is where the real action is going to be. This is going to be crucial. So the Venom moves forward. The Archon Warlord gets out with his blast pistol and the Incubi. We're going to have to try and take out these obliterators. They've got horrendous firepower when you're only a gentle little Eldar soul. So I've got to take him out, and the Venom is going to fire up at the Raptors with the Warlord in that unit as well. If you notice, the flyers flown off the board because I had to jinx, so it's pretty much useless. There's no point snap firing at the flyers because they just get vector strike and killed. So I've flown that off the board, and the other one doesn't turn up, and the Scourges don't turn up either. So we're not bothered about the Scourges not turning up, but that other flyer, we really needed it, because Heldricks are just going to run riot. So we're going to try and get some snapfire off at this Demon Prince with the Ravager. We did jink anyway, so we might as well try and shoot at him. It could be a good idea, it could be a bad idea. If we ground him and he charges next turn, then who knows what could happen. But we're just going to have to do something to him. Right, so this Raider fires up into the sky. All the nasty weapons miss with the blasters and the dart lancers, but 7 wounds from the splinter rifles with the splinter racks, getting rerolls. 7 wounds, but as tricky as the Ynnari are, the Night Lords have their tricks as well. This is a Demon Prince saving on a 2 armor save with a reroll of 1s. So 7 wounds to save, and he doesn't even need to reroll any because he makes them all. So there we go. Alright, this Harlequin jet bike squad, the Sky Weavers. First ones that open fire, they kill 2 Night Lords. Do look out, sir, on the Night Lords champion, so the Lightning Claws guy still is alive. But now there's another squad to fire at them, so shooting cannons. Not as good this time, only 3 hits, 2s to wound. Alright, still no Blade Storm, but 3 wounds. We're going to have to save on armor saves. So 2 die and a 3rd lives. So you're going to have to look out on the champion because he is the nearest to that one. And he does. Right, these witches, they're going to fire some pistols at him as well, see if we can finish him off with some shooting. So 1 hit, 4 to wound. So there's a wound. Needs to save on a 3. Does save on that 6, so he's going to have to get assaulted here. Now onto the Venom. So the 2 splinter cannons, we're going to fire at these raptors, see if we can just take the edge off them a little bit. Decent. Force to wound. Seem better, but 4 wounds will do, providing the Night Lords fail those saves. So no, they make every single one. Right here is a lot more tricky. So we've got the Archon. He's going to fire his blast pistol into the obliterators. He hits, wounds on 2, and he wounds, and obliterator is an invulnerable 5. No, it's strength 8. That's an insta-killed obliterator. Okay, so it didn't kill any units to soul burst, so it's now into assault phases. So we're going to do the Incarn. He's going to try a long charge over cover, but he's got moved through cover being a monstrous creature. He's probably going to need it looks like a 10-inch charge. Alright, the Incarn fails his charge. It was a 10-inch charge, only able to roll a 6 even with fleet. So now we're going to charge the jet bikes in. Actually, we'll do the witches, so the witches will go in first. So you're going to overwatch with a grenade. So he misses, so the witches go 8 inches. That should be enough under the jet bikes. Yeah, so they go in. And so the witches go in and the jet bikes follow. So we've got 2 hammer wraths from the jet bikes on this lord. What we'll do is we'll issue a challenge with the Hecatrix. So you, Chaos have to accept, so that's what's going to happen. But hammer wraths first. 2 clean hammer wraths. Actually 1, because they're only strength 3. That's cock died, isn't it? Oh, he's died straight away off the hammer wrath. So soul bursts. Come on down. Okay, so we've chosen to soul burst the unit that was in the combat up to here to achieve this objective. We've done our crash tests. We did the flat out move, so that's how we've got up there so fast. And passed all the crash tests. And with this formation, you can soul burst two squads off 1 casualty unit. So we've chosen to do this squad as well. We're going to fire through the windows, through this building at these raptors, see if we can just shave off a couple. 3 hits. These raptors are pretty indestructible. Right, there's 2 saves and a blade storm, but the Night Lords have shrouded, stealth even, so that 4+ becomes a 3+, so it's just 3+ saves all around 3 times. So there's 1 dead, and then another save for the blade storm, which is just going to be a 3+ cover. No saves, so just 1 casualty. Okay, now we've got the Archon's assault on these horrible obliterators. So they are slow and purposeful, so no overwatch from them. That is bad, but we might just get there. Okay, we'll just get there on a 4 inches. We don't dare reroll that 2. In case we get a 1, that would have been a failed charge. There's no need to really. So we are in. The obliterators have power fists, so they'll be going last, but the Eldar will be striking first. So we'll do the Archon, and we'll just figure this out. Obliterators are not fearless, so they're going to have to take a fear test, as are the attacking unit. And forgot to mention, the obliterators did do a morale check for losing 1, but they did pass. So the obliterators are going to have to take a fear test because we'll have the armour of misery. So they're on a 9 with a -2, so that is good enough. On a 7, and the Archon's going to have to take a fear test themselves because they are demons, and we pass that. So it's going to be a straight up fight. The Archon has got 6 attacks. Oh, that's okay. But here's the hard part, needing 5s to wound. It's a husk blade, so it's only AP 3. So we get 1 wound, and you need to save on a 2. And he does. Alright, so now it's down to the Clavex. Right, so we've got the Clavex. He's got 3 attacks in his profile. He's got 1 for charging. He's only got the Clave. So here we go. He's hitting on 3s because he's high weapon skill. That's good enough. Needing 4s to wound. Right, that's cool. It's got 3 wounds, so there's 1 obliterated dead, possibly, and another wound, so they're going to have to save on invulnerable 5s. So there's a wound, 2 more. Right, there's the full 3 wounds, so there's an obliterator gone. Which one's the... there he is. So that's him gone, and the 1 on his last wound, so it's the rest of the Incubiter fight. Right, the rest of the Incubiter fight now, so hitting on 3s. That's okay. I just need some 4s. He's on his last wound. Right, there's 2 wounds. He's going to have to save on his Demon 5. He's going to have to get both of these to survive. Oh, and he does. Right, the Obliterator survived that. He's got 2 attacks, hitting on 4s. He's got 1 hit, wound on 2. That is a wound, so we don't want to take it on the shadow field in case we lose the Warlord, so we're just going to take it on a normal incubi. It's a shame. We still won the combat by 2, so they're down by 2. So the leadership 9 down to 7. So the pass, so we're locked in still. Right, so the combat is over. The stubborn obliterator hangs on. Now that is a bit of frustration because what we wanted to do was kill that obliterator and then soul burst. Well, it's not actually a soul burst. The Incarn can redeploy, so we planned on killing that obliterator and having the Incarn pop up here. So although the obliterator kill did not come off, we succeeded elsewhere. We've got this objective here with the witches, and thanks to a soul burst and a turbo boost we are on this objective as well, and that is a -2 to the charge range mysterious objective 2, so we're up high, almost protected. Got 2 points in that round. Taking some good victory points as the game goes on, but we're taking casualties. Night Lords turn 3. This unit that was banished into the corner, they've actually made good use of their lives. They've jumped forward and ran 5 already. They'll not be shooting or anything, but what they will be doing is claiming that objective, so that's 1 point already for the Night Lords. The Helldrake Terror Pack swoops in. It's not looking good for these Dark Eldar on board here. The Flamers, they will be able to attack the people inside. It's not a good day to have pointy ears. And one of the Lord Raptor and his unit jumps up here past all of the dangerous terrain tests, so they're going to try and clear this Harlequin bike squad off this objective. And then this Demon Prince, he jumps up here, so he's now in jump mode. He's no longer flying, so he's taking an objective as well, so that'll be another card for recon. So the points are now starting to come in for the Night Lords. So let's see what they can make of it. There's still a psychic phase to go, and there's still a combat here. So the Demon Prince tries to have his psychic phase, and he doesn't really manage to do much at all. So it's pretty much a null phase. This won't be. We've got 2 Helldrake Bale Flamers attacking this Raider. So 2d6 attacks on frying the souls inside. Wow, that's pretty lucky for the Dark Eldar. There's only 4 hits in total, needing 2s to wound. Oh, that's even worse. So just 2 die, and then 2 strength 6 attacks on the Raider itself. So there's no saves here. So needing Force to glance. This could just rack it anyway. Just 1 pen. So it is open topped on a 6 that will explode. No, it survives. That is the luckiest Helldrake encounter I've ever seen. Right, and one of the Helldrakes did Vector Strike the Incarn on the way through, but he did save on his invulnerable 5. Different kettle of fish over here. There's 2 melty guns. They've hit and wounded the jet bikes here. We didn't jink because we've got area cover from being inside the building. We're going to have to save on 4s. 1 saves, it's strength 8, so that's insta-kill on one of the bikes. That's bad news. Right, with 1 bike dead, we're going to have to do a morale check for them. So they pass on an 8, so they've still got a chance to assault them. Okay, so the fight is going to go on. So we failed our fear test against the Night Lords. They are quite scary. So the Harlequins will attack first. And that is a triple 1. Right, we're going to have the Raptor Lord fight. He's going to be using his power fist since he's going last anyway. So he's going to be the one to tear him down out of the sky. He's got 5 attacks and 3 hits. 2s to wound, and there's 3 wounds. So these are insta-killing hits, and we only save 1, but we need to save them all. So he's dead. Right, surprise, surprise! The Incarn appears right where the death happened. So the Eldar jet bike gives way to a portal of swirly death. So that's where he lands, 1 inch away from the Raptors, and that is pretty scary situation for those Raptors, I think. Alright, this ongoing combat with the Obliterator. We've got the Archon fighting first. Both have passed the fear tests. So the Archon, with his Husk Blade, has got 4 hits. 5s to wound. There's 2 wounds this time, so you're going to need to save those on 2s. If you go. Right, he's actually failed that one. It's instant death, so he's dead. And because the Archon's got a soul trap, he is now going to be strength 4 with that husk blade. And we're using Soul Burst to just come closer to our transport, so we're probably going to whip back in there at the end of the turn. In the Ynnari's next turn, should I say. So that is the end of the Night Lord's 3rd turn. What objectives were scored there? Got Recon. And this objective where these misplaced raptors were, so they've actually came into their own. So 2 points for the Night Lords in that turn. That's pretty good going. Yeah, Ynnari turn 4 now, so reserves finally come on, they have to, so both flyers are now here. So we're going to try and take out these 2 Heldrakes, or at least one, that's what we're hoping for. The Scourges, they're deep strike in, the scatter back, we need this objective, so we're going to have to shoot off this front Raptor, and hopefully we might get a Soul Burst to jump in there and try and wrestle that from their talons. The Raider moves forward. The passengers are not snap firing, so we're going to try and get revenge on the Demon Prince. He's incredibly tough, but we can humble him if he rolls consecutive 1s in a row. These witches are just going to try and hold this objective. See what we can do. The Harlequins, they're just going to add some fire onto this unit, try and weaken them down a bit. And the Incarn will probably mount an assault, most definitely, onto this Raptor unit, see if we can knock those out of the game. This unit goes back into the Venom. We're going to turbo boost onto this objective and score it. So we're still scoring, still killing, or hopefully killing units. We've still got a lot of shooting to be done. But we did the Psychic Phase. We tried to do Hammer Hand on the Incarn to give it strength 8. That would have insta-killed any challenger. But it was denied. But what we did do is Purge Soul onto the Demon Prince, and it's a success, so it's going to be a straight roll off. If we win the roll off, we get a +1 to this dice roll with the leaderships in consideration. So if we win this roll off with a +1, then he takes a wound with no armor or cover saves allowed, so 5's good for me. Oh, well, we've still won it by 1 dice roll, so you've got an invulnerable 5 save, because you don't get a cover save or an armor save, but you do get an invulnerable. So on 5. Oh, mixes anyway. So jumping through hoops for little gain. But these 2 on the top floor, if you're not on the top floor, you're a nobody. Top floor is the place to be. Right, fight the Skyweavers at the Lord's unit in here. You look out, sirs, onto a melter gun, and he fills his armor save. So we've killed a raptor with a melter gun. That's good. Works. We might not have to take that in the Overwatch when the Incarn makes his way down the stairs. Right, so the Raider fires up at the Demon Prince. We get a lot of wounds, but he's just impossible with that save he's got going. So he takes no wounds. But we're going to try and change our fortunes here. We've got the Razor Wings. They're going to fire into the Heldrakes. And this one's firing first, and this Heldrake, I've been told, is jinking. So we're hitting on 3s with the Dark Lancers. There's 2 hits. Come on. Right, there's 2 glances. Saving on 4s. Saves them both. Right, we're going to have this fighter. He's going to fire at this one. Again, we'll be jinking. So 2 hits. as 1 pen. The other one was a pen as well. This is pretty important. 7 on 4 again. Oh, they go through, right. 5 goes to 6, it's immobilized, and the 1 is not really going to do much in this scenario. So, crash and burn on a 1 or a 2. One of the Helldrake goes down. Alright, this Helldrake gets shot down, but we're going to see if it's where it lands, if it's going to land on the radar. No, it just lands on the spot. Okay, we've got the other Deep Strike reserves coming in now to fire. So we've got the 2 haywire blasters, not against the vehicle targets that they're like to be against, but strength 4. So first one's a hit, second one is also a hit. And the rest of the carbines open fire with them as well. Get a load of wounds, but only killed 2 in the end. So it does strip them back from the objective. So if it can somehow get a soul burst from somewhere, I think it might be the Incarn in that building, could spur these on to jump again to that objective. We could score that one. Tricky stuff. That's all the shooting done for the Ynnari, so it's time for assault. So the Incarn is going to go down a level. He's already done the Overwatch, no damage. So he's going to drop down a level and try and attack these raptors. So he's... we'll reroll that one because we've got fleet. Yep, so we're going to go down into that fight. And then there's a 7-inch charge from the jet bikes. We're going to try and get those into the fray as well. Oh, they're going to go in. So there's going to be 2 dangerous terrain tests on the way in. So the one on the left, one on the right. We're okay. So in we go. Here we go, then big fight in the buildings. Everyone is where they can be, with bases getting bigger these days. It's getting harder and harder to climb inside buildings. So the Incarn won't actually go first. It hasn't got assault grenades. So he's going to go toe to toe with this Chaos Lord. He's got a Sigil of Corruption, so he's got an invulnerable 4 save. And he's already got 2 wounds, this Incarn. He could do it, it's not impossible. And these get some Hammer of Wraths, but they will go last as well because they haven't got any assault grenades. So the Raptors will go first. Okay, so the Chaos Lord's going to use his Power Fist, so he's going to go at the same time as the Incarn. This champion's going to use his Power Fist as well, so for instant death attacks on these jet bikes, so he'll go at the same time as them. But the 2 Raptors, they attack first. No damage from the Hammer of Wraths from the jet bikes going in. So these attack, they get 2 wounds on the jet bike, so we're going to save on 4s. And we do, so we save. So now it is the big walloping attacks from the Power Fists and the Incarn. So do you want to do your Chaos Lord first? He'll have...
Let's leave him to last, let's do the Power Fist on him.
Alright, go on then.
So he's got 3 attacks.
Yeah, he's got 3 attacks. So he's hit twice. 2's to wound. There's 2 wounds. Invulnerable 5s. Oh, saves. That's real bad news. So the Skyweavers are going to attack back, hitting on 3s. Okay, that's okay. Strength 5, so they're needing 3s to wound. And he's AP 2, so there's 3 wounds, so that's going to be the Raptors cut down on the bottom floor. So because that's a unit killed with a clean out, what we'll do is we're going to soul burst because they're within 7 of that unit, to that objective over there. So they're going to use the jump pack wings to jump over and claim that objective. But for now, we're going to finish off this fight. So we've got the Power Fist Raptor Lord. So he's got 4 attacks with his Power Fist. And he's hitting on 4s. Right, it's 2 hits. He's wounding on 2s because he's only toughness 6, the Incarn. There's 2 wounds, 2 solid wounds, 7 on 5s for his demon save. Right, he's taking a wound. And he's got feel no pain. Oh, it's just such a hardship. Alright, he's going to come back with 7 attacks. Okay, 7 attacks from the Incarn. Hitting on 3s. That's his best round so far. And wound on 2s. Oh, all wounds, so that is 6 wounds. He's going to have to save on 4s. Oh, he hasn't done it. There's a 1. So the Lord's being killed. He's not the Warlord, but that's it's grim stuff anyway. Right, we used that last Lord getting killed for a soul burst, so we've moved the Incarn down and he's consolidated only 1 inch, so that's where he is. And then, because we can do 2 soul bursts of one unit being destroyed for this detachment. We used the shuriken cannons to fire at the Demon Prince. No damage, he's just too tough. Okay, so the Scourgers, they got their soul burst off the Raptor squad die, and they do eventually jump forward onto this objective. We're able to peel enough back off the objective for the Night Lord, so we do claim that one, but they did pass the morale check, so they're still standing. But we will get most of our cards there. We've got Hungry for Glory, we issued a challenge with the Incarn. Secure objective 3 and 6. So there's 3 and there's 6 what we turbo boosted onto, so there's solid 3 points in that turn. I think we're just pulling away from the Night Lord's grasp here altogether. Alright, so these Raptors fire into the Scourgers. 3 pistols, 3 wounds. So we've got to save these on the Ghost Plate armour on 4s. 1 goes down. So that's hit. And over here, the Demon Prince did do a Psychic Phase, and he passed one of his Psychic powers, although it did scatter because it was a blast. Missed the Witches, but more importantly, got them harness the warp, so point straight away, and there's not a lot left to do. The Helldrake had to swoop off the board since he was jinking, and the Demon Prince is probably going to go in on these Witches. He's going to try and wrestle secure objective 5. So he's minuses 2. No, he doesn't, because he's got move through cover. He's a monstrous creature, so he makes it in, but we are in a little bit of cover there, so the Witches will have a chance to try and defend themselves. Right, the Demon Prince goes in, and we don't get any wounds with the pistols, and he fails his Hammer of Wrath, so we're in a challenge. We're going to try and lash him and keep him in line like some sort of futuristic lion tamer. So 3, no, we missed every single one. We didn't succumb to fear either. Now the Witches, they're going to fight the Demon Prince, needing 5s, there's 1, needing 6, no, so the Demon Prince, he's just going to make a mockery of these. So he's hit 4. 2 to kill them. Alright. He doesn't actually kill them all. Terrible performance from the Demon Prince. So
actually not bad, so he could get psychological warfare again.
Okay, well he could redeem himself here, but there's 2 dead. Did kill someone in his challenge. And we're going to have to take a morale check there. So we're down by 2. And we pass. So that's not what the Demon Prince wanted to see. Right, the Raptors go in on this combat, so the challenge is issued. No damage from the Hammer of Wrath either, they're just rolling terrible. Oh no, they've got 1 wound, so we have to save that on a 4. And we do, it's just really hard work for the Night Lords in this game. But we will go first because we've got a higher initiative step. They were really banking on some Hammer of Wraths. Right, so before we attack, we've got to do a fear test with a -2 because these are Night Lords and we're scared, so not going to be hitting very well. So the challenge, oh, doesn't matter, we're doing get our hits. 5s, no, and then we've got 3 to attack normally, so we'll miss all of our important ones. So the Raptor Champion, he's got 4 attacks on the charge. So 4 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s because of this scary Eldar, so 3 hits, and 3 cut through, but I think we'll have a 6+ invulnerable. Yeah, so the 6 plus invulnerable does count in close combat, so in the challenge, nope, he's dead, and then the other 2 normal ones, it's cocked out. We'll save 1, but he's beaten him in a challenge, so he's going to get a roll on the boon table, and we've lost a Scourge. So now it's the normal Raptors to fight, they're hitting on 3s, that's good, only missed 1, wounding on 3s. And I'll just roll these. So there's 4 wounds to try and tick, and we've lost another. So we are down by 3 in the combat, and
You're down by 4.
no, we're just down by 3.
No,
So we're all the 6. So we lost the leader in that conflict, so we've failed that morale test. So to roll off the initiative, so the Eldar get a 3 and the Night Lords get a 4. So only initiative 5 for these Scourges, so he's caught and killed, so easy killings for the Night Lords, that's just how they like it. So he gets a roll on the boon chart. So he gets a, what's that? It's disappeared.
46.
46. Right, so he gets Icy Aura, but it's not going to count in this coming game because we are going to end it there. So they did get Psychological Warfare, which is crucial, so they did their job in the end. And this was a bad episode here. The Demon Prince wasn't able to kill these, so he couldn't secure that objective. So 2 points for Harness the Warp and Psychological Warfare. But the Night Lords are going to call it a day there. The two are far behind in points and they've lost a lot of units now. So the Eldar, the Ynnari are triumphant in their debut. So very interesting, I think. So in the end, it's 7 to the Night Lords. They do get Line Breaker because of those raptors in the corner. And 11 to the Ynnari, also gaining Line Breaker with that last surviving witch over there with, with the Demon Prince. So there we have it with the Ynnari. I didn't know how that one was going to go, playing them for the first time, and obviously being a relative newcomer to the Dark Eldar. I still think I prefer the ordinary Craft World and Dark Eldar. Just I think it's got a bit more of a desperate feel. I'm not sure what I think of it. I think it's pretty cool.